Baby chips. Baby chips. Baby chips. Hello all, Dr. Fox back here with your weekend update, spending some quality time with Miss Mora here. Thankfully there's a bit of a WoW lull this week, which allows me to have a couple extra minutes with you folks this week. So we're going to get into that. We got a few things. We got a holiday celebration to see how you all held up through that. We've got some other things going on that are coming up. We'll get into that, shan't we? Dr. Fox back here with you weekend update. First off, happy milk. Hope you all had for those few that had a 3-day extended weekend last weekend. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Hope you're able to do something that was inspiring, or just be kind. Just like today is National Compliment Day. So saying hello to all you wonderful folks out there once again. And it's not just because it's Compliment Day. I do that all the time for those that know who I am. So hope you all had a decent 3-day weekend last weekend. Some will go, well, I'm at home all the time. But that's not my point. If you understand the clump of weekend time, there's so much more to that than that. But I'm not going to get into all that because that would be a whole half-hour analytical breakdown of all that. But I'm just saying I hope you get to enjoy a couple extra days off, even if many aren't working right now. And let's hope at least 1.6% of the population is. But that is a discussion for a different day. So with that said, like I said, it's a bit of a lull week for those looking for the anyone kind of struggling with your anime on the mission tables. There hasn't really been a good add-on that helps with those. And again, these are not 100% accurate, but we've been trying a few different ones. I've seen a few bouncing around recently, like someone had used WeakAuras. I'll put the links in. There's another one out there. I'm going to put it's kind of a long link. I'm going to give it a try. It seems to be a bit more accurate than WeakAuras. It seems to be something like Venture Plan at like townlong-yak.com. I'll put that long. There's a long link for that. You actually have to install that when you go into your interface, like an old-fashioned individual like myself, when you have to go to like Curse and you got to download that add-on and then plug it in to so you got to look for where your folder is on WoW. And then open that up, and then you got interface, and then you got add-on, and then you'd want to cut and paste that particular add-on you downloaded in there. It's not quite so easy as it was at Twitch or WoW.io, and I haven't seen it on WoW.io. Something like that may come up later, but I've used some of the other mission tables, but they don't seem to be working well. There's a lot of errors in those. So I don't use that one anymore. So it may not be something I'll stick with, but it's something I wanted to try at least, and I wanted to share that with you all. Around here, I was able to put up. I was all excited. I usually try to wait till like Martin Luther King Jr. Weekend, and then I will sort of shift gears, and then in my mind, and then I'll put up my little Valentine's hanger. I have little door hangers throughout the year that give me little mini celebrations to look forward to. Even if they were horrible holidays in the past, what I do is I reroute my programming up here. So I try to start new memories which turn into good ones. Now, it is definitely important to not forget your past experiences. We learn from those because that's what a lot of people forget to do. Especially, I won't get into politics, but as we always say, religion, politics, and Great Pumpkin, we try to avoid. Just to add that humor into that third piece, because the first two can be so stressful and overwhelming. But with that said, we know that a lot of times individuals within politics won't look back at history and forget about history, and that's what leads us to some horrible things that happen, whether it be a war between a neighbor or a war between the worlds, or different parts of the world. But I won't get into all that. And it's easier said than done always, no matter how hard you try to sit down and have negotiations. So anyway, but with that said anyway, to kind of lead back, this allows me to come up with new memories. So we don't go, oh no, said holiday's coming up. Now I got to kill myself because I can't deal with said holiday. I know there's a lot of pressure on us. And it's a very difficult challenging situation. And I'm not going to be one of those psychiatrists that throws red tape and mumbo jumbo at you. I've never been that kind of person. I always try to sit down and look, it sucks, but we're gonna function and try to get through one little tiny piece at a time. We're gonna have some fuzz therapy. Yeah, see, she knew, she knows, as well as whatever the individual. Yes, exactly. Mora knows exactly. Did you find a soft spot? If you guys could see that. That's my kitty talk. For those that don't know me very well. But anyway, with that, it helps me put new memories in there. And it gives me little things to look forward to, like I was mentioning last week. It just allows us to go, oh no, I'm dreading said date. I mean, heck, I have that too with PTSD. There's what we call the anniversaries of certain sets of PTSD, and some of us have a lot of different versions of PTSD. And we try to go, okay, I'm not gonna go like fret for that for the next 8 months. I'm gonna move that aside for a little while. And some will say, well, I think about it all the time, so I can't. Or I want to do drugs or some sort of pod or something to be numb, and we won't get into numbing this week. But with that said, we're going to shift gears. But I was just saying, I put up my Valentine so I can get ready for that one. And there are little celebrations that I look forward to throughout the year. And as we go, we've got Super Bowl in a couple weeks. Even if some aren't sports fans, I still like the commercials. Yes, some will go, well, yeah. But I can find those online now, like 3 days prior. I don't like the surprise. I like to still put it on in the background and then do little things like we used to do little video game or board game events, or we'd put on movies or something and then catch the commercials the next morning. And then someone will go, well, I don't want to miss those if they talk about them behind, But again, see, no matter what you say, there's a contradiction to it. But you got to find a level balance in it so that one way or another, we can find a leveling, functioning way to go in that. AKA the feng shui, if you will, in some forms. This allows for, especially right now, people are just very angry at themselves, at other people, at the world. It feels like an unsafe place. We got to conquer. Now, I'm not trying to say all lovey-dovey or anything, but we definitely got to approach it with a patient and loving circumstance instead of going, oh, you're angry at me? All right, good. Let's start a fight. No, we have enough fights going on in the world. We don't want to be doing that. Whether they're verbal fights, psychological fights, or physical fights. And we really don't want to have to see that, because that's not the way we need to be able to fight this metaphorical. Well, again, everyone's going to say how they define evil and what level of that, where that falls for that. But it's a way for us to fight against that within reason, without bringing politics and without bringing religion into that, allowing us to still have a balance in that situation as well. And they're just looking for something to blame, someone to blame, and I think we have to pull back and just try to take a moment, because this is how we progress forward, instead of constantly hindering and taking out way too many beings on the earth. But I'm not going to get into all that stuff as well. Like I said, we briefly touch on things here in the weekend update. These are just some things that I'm contemplating, and I always like to try to leave on a good note. But before we wrap up with that good note, I just want to get into I love my calendar kitties. Right, so we're going to cover that. I want to cover what I've been up to lately as well. I actually ran time walking. It's too bad they must have really nerfed that, because time walking used to be, you could pretty much run one time walking, and I noticed the XP that they have, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to come in here. This is one of the main paladin characters that I've been using on the RP server. I've been logging it. Now we're going to get a lot of burrs and noises and everything. I'm using an NPC add-on. So there's going to be a huge of alarms and everything coming up as well while we try to... Yeah, I didn't think I'd get that lucky. I'm still over here farming for the ash-covered horn. You can see I've had 31 attempts out of 72 on it. Damn you, Blizzard, for those completionists that make us still try to look for those situations. But well, I'm going to show you that real quick. Let me go in here to... you've got your regular dungeon XP right here. Normally it's 4810. I ran one of the leveling regular dungeons for Shadowlands, and that gave me almost a whole full level. You can see I'm already at 52.5 right now. So that experience they gave you, I ended up doing that. I know there's bonuses, but I didn't do tank. Every time I try to tank, they just kick me out. I'm good at tanking with a couple of small guildies that we can do, but when you try to do it from folks that don't really know you, see, here it is. That makes that challenging. You can see the experience points are extremely low. See, I wish I could do it here, because look, see, I'd get some extra bonuses. Mora came back up to say hello again. So that was just something I wanted to show you real quick. And then we'll go in here, and did any of you share the call of the Scarab micro holiday for a couple of days last week? If you did, feel free to share that in the link as well. We've got the Battlegrounds bonus event coming up this Tuesday as well. Time walking, if you want to get any more time walking for Kata. I'm waiting for BC to come around. Every once in a while, I might still run a little of the other time walkers, just to pick up that if you run it once, you get your 500 time walking badges per week. You've got the PvP Brawl Gravity Laps. That's going to be ending this week as well, and that will pretty much take us through our last final week before we prep for events going on in February, just to kind of pull us through this week. And I hope that helps. So that's the calendar there. And with that said, as we always do, take two more things to kind of wrap up what you got to do, whether it be in-game or in life or whatever the circumstance might be. Take a couple of pats from your fur baby. If you don't have one, go to a local shelter and offer to help walk one, and then you can get your patting in that way. If you're not feeling comfortable to do that because of COVID, there are other options out there. If you don't have very much money, there is an option of getting I don't want to say fake, but it's like a stuffed little animal that gives you the same feeling as an animal. I know it's not the same thing, but just that feeling can help. The certain types of touch can really help. It really makes can make a big difference. And then some might not even have that kind of money. There are other options to look into as well for that. But with that said, all I'm saying is take a couple of fur pats to help out from your loving family member right here as well. Or take two things, finish it up, what you got to do for your month, whether it be in-game or out of game. Call me in the morning. And once again, yes, time for brunch, and we will see you later.